to the sacred space. My name is Hellooo and I'm also known as the Scribe Priestess. And in this channel, I make videos about spiritual practices, spiritual development, and anything that has to do with our spiritual journey here on Earth. In today's episode, we are going to go through another spiritual practice, which is the practice of gratitude. It's a very interesting one. So if you are like me and you adore and love tea, grab yourself a beautiful cup of tea. I have one today that has inside turmeric, ginger, and a little bit of honey because I'm doing a type of cleansing. We just went through this very intense Scorpio moon. I think that it's really a good opportunity to be cleansing ourselves, cleansing our spaces, and doing these practices that attune us into resonance with the energies we want to cultivate in our lives. Grab yourself something to drink and let's get started with today's video. So you guys, I am also an astrologist, and that's why sometimes I like to give astrological information, and I wish that a little bit later I will be able to, once we are already inside of deeper spiritual themes, I will be able to explain a little bit more about astrology and how this amazing discipline and area of study that is astrology can help us actually to not only get to know ourselves better, but to actually work and move ourselves with the flow of life. But I'm not going to talk about astrology in this video, but on the spiritual practice of gratitude. Okay, when you think about the word gratitude, what's the first thing that comes inside of your mind? To me, personally, gratitude, I definitely immediately go to the practice of praying. I also go to the very different cultures that we have around the world, because I come from a country, from the country of Guatemala. It's a Latin American country, and we tend to say thanks a lot. Almost too much, I believe, but it's inside of us. It's like anytime that we receive something, we say thank you. As I have been traveling in the world, there are sometimes this, like brushes with other cultures because the thank you is not that developed there. We're saying thank you. It's not like overly used or you don't use it that much. But I absolutely feel that developing gratitude in your daily practices is in how you actually live your life and like to see the world is actually a very key spiritual practice to attune yourself to the frequencies, energies that you want to cultivate inside of your life. So I'm gonna go a little bit deeper in what this means exactly, so we can talk about why gratitude has been so important in a lot of religious practice, where you stand in front of a symbol, image, or an energy itself, and you are thanking for being alive or whatever you want to say thank you for. And as always, there is going to be an extended version on my webpage about this subject, and if you're interested and curious to know a little bit more, I am going to go deeper in what attunement is and how attunement is so important, or why attunement is so important for our spiritual journey, and how the practice of gratitude intertwined with prayers can help us to find that attunement. It's actually very interconnected with meditation also. So I'm gonna leave my link down below if you want to go and check it out. You have to become a member of our community of the Scribe Priestess in order to have access to this video library. So back to the video. There are a lot of different ways that you can practice gratitude. A lot of the new age, so to say, practices that have been very trendy in the last couple of years, I would say, has been writing as a gratitude practice. And I believe that it will always be trending if you follow a religion to be practicing gratitude. So gratitude is spiritual practice that connects you to the fact that we are here on earth and that there are some things that we tend to take for granted. It's only because we live a certain hard situation that we start to understand the value of some things in our lives. I think it is true that sometimes we don't understand the value something has for us until that thing, situation, person, feeling is gone. But I believe it also has to do with the practice of gratitude. The practice of gratitude makes us more mindful and more conscious of what we have every single day in our lives. So the more you practice gratitude, the more you are attuning yourself to the reality of your life. There is a way you can see what I'm saying right now, and it's on this saying that goes, either you are a person who sees the glass half empty, or you are a person who sees the glass half full. I know it makes I know it's funny, but it actually makes a total difference if you are the type of person who tends to see situations as the glass half empty or the glass half full, because it is very different to see a situation being already full as whereas seeing something that is lacking something, which is empty. So gratitude actually tends to take yourself into this mindfulness and consciousness state where you can turn this perspective of the glass being half empty to the glass being half full. I believe all of these practices of gratitude are so important in this era, in all of the societies. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. It is so important because we live in an era where the materialism is very strong. Feeling that if you don't have something, if this object is not in your life, or to get more things, to have more, to be more, and more, that you tend to forget to see already, to pause and say like, okay, but wait a minute, what do I already have? What do I already possess in my life that could actually be used to enhance what I think I'm lacking? Or do I really lack things, or it's just some other voice that is not even mine, which is outside, that is trying to tell me and convince that I need something? So the practice of gratitude is actually so important to bring consciousness and awareness to how you live your life, and that this life is yours and that you're the one creating it. So co-creating it actually with the universe, but the one responsible for it's you. You are responsible for what you're creating in your life. That comes from the knowing that there will always be things happening outside of you, like outside of your inner compass. There will always be situations being presented by life to you, but how you react to these situations and your decisions to how to confront that, how to react to it, is going to be totally your responsibility. And it's going to be also shaping your reality in a certain way. It's actually, to me, very interesting to see how this knowledge can be interconnected with the gratitude practice. A lot of practices of gratitude are, I have to say it, in religious settings. So you go and you pray and you give thanks in order to also receive. You give, you receive. That's a very key point also in the practice of gratitude, which is that's another law of the universe, the law of correspondence. It can also be seen either to the law of correspondence or the law of causality. Everything that you are thankful for, you are opening yourself also to receive more of it, or you're going to be able to be opening yourself to acknowledging all the beautiful things that you already have in life, and then being able to reflect if you already are happy about it, or you are going to pray for something else. You know what I mean? But it's not the same thing if you go from a lacking point of existence, or when you go from a full point of existence, giving thanks for everything you already have, reflecting on what you think you need. And as I said, we live in a very materialistic era where we are constantly being fed a lot of things. Like if you are in social media, how many times you see when you're scrolling an ad about something you were thinking of buying, or something that you thought that maybe that will go good in my house, or yeah, maybe I could buy this to improve this and that and that. And actually, you guys, it's like, no. We have to be very critical about the things that we are consuming, the things we think we need, and that are actually just putting a lot of material weight to our lives. I do believe that it's not bad wanting things. It is a very different way of thinking when you think, okay, I need this to be happy, or I am happy, and I let myself be open to what life brings to me. And you know, it's a very different flow of life if you go like that. if you try to recalibrate, reconnect the how your brain is thinking. And a lot of times in manifestation techniques, this is brought up, that in order also to be able to manifest in a successful way, you need to practice gratitude. Because in order to be manifesting things in your life, you have to be connected to your life, to the reality of it, and what you already have. So it's a process. It's a process. I like the in the religion type, I like the one where you sit yourself at dinner or at every meal and you give thanks for the meals, the food that you have, or whatever you want to say thanks to. I absolutely love that. I remember I had a very good friend when I was at university, and her family was Christian Catholic, if I remember good, Christian Catholic. And we would, every time I would go to her house, we would sit down, and just before every meal, the father was saying some words. And when the father was not that, it was the mother, or in exchange themselves. Sometimes it was my friend. Sometimes I was also saying thanks. And there was, I cannot remember right now which, if I remember it, I'm going to put it in the comments below. It was not just saying thanks to God for the food that we were having in the moment, but it was a more profound moment of gratitude, of saying, yes, thank you, because I'm alive, you know? And I always felt that phrase to be so powerful. And in that moment, we could connect to the spiritual part of ourselves, and that we are all interconnected. It was so beautiful. And I really enjoyed it, as I am realizing now how much I enjoy that practice of giving thanks. And another practice regarding gratitude is the practice of having a gratitude journal, where you, either before you go to bed or when you wake up, you are going to say 3 things where you are grateful for. When people say count your blessings, that is also very interconnected with being grateful. So count your blessings, because we are very blessed every single day, you know? And we take so much things for granted, like for the fact that we can speak, that we can see, that we can walk, that we can hug, that we can care, that we can feel emotions, that we can laugh, that we can taste food. There are so many things to be grateful for, that we do this automatically every single day. But the moment, and that's the thing, we can go through life expecting those moments where everything is going to be taken away from us, and then we will start to be grateful for those things. Or you can start to be grateful for everything that you have already in your life, and you're not going to be waiting for a moment where everything is going to go away, because you will be here in the present moment being thankful and grateful for what you already have. So I really connect with the fact that gratitude makes you more mindful, makes you more conscious about what and how you live your life, and has the potential to cultivate your life in a certain way. We have the tendency as humans to focus on the bad, like to focus on the things that are not working for us, on the painful things, or the situations that were, a little bit dysregulating for us. If you had a disagreement with your neighbor, or if somebody was disrespectful to you in the bus, and we tend to be there just like thinking about those things. And the fact is that we normally as humans don't want to feel pain, don't want to feel shame, don't want to feel those very heavy emotions that tend to get us sad, angry, depressed, all of these heavy emotions that are also there to teach us something. I have said before, emotions are our biggest masters, are here to teach us a lot of what it means to be a human being. Because we don't want to go to the pain state or the pain emotion spectrum, we tend to focus on the things that give us pain so that we don't go there, it doesn't make any sense. It's very contrary to what we should be doing, because if you don't want to have pain and you don't want to be getting angry, you should focus yourself on things that will bring you happiness, that will bring you joy, calmness, and tranquility, for example. But we tend to do that in order to avoid and to know which situations are going to be detrimental for us. But that's a very instinctive response. That is a very primal and very primitive response to how life can go. That's why I reintegrate here the fact that getting in contact with our emotions and understanding which emotion is the one that you're feeling is going to help you to integrate that emotion, let it be, feel it, and then transmute it to another state of being that can bring you more gratitude, that could bring you more joy, that can bring all of these feelings that are being processed from or transmuted, as I said, from this other energy, from this other emotion that you were feeling before. It is totally normal to focus on things that are not going good, but if all of your energy is going into that, things that are working, you're not going to see it. And that's where gratitude is going to be injecting energy, injecting power. If you tend to be a very pessimistic person, maybe gratitude is going to help you get a little bit more optimism in your life, getting a little bit of, okay, maybe things can go differently because this and this already is working and I'm grateful for this. So as you can see, it's actually you changing how you perceive your life to be going, how you are understanding the movement of your life. So gratitude is going to be connecting us to the life force energy that we are here on earth very blessed, and that we have a lot of things to not only be grateful for, but to actually enjoy on this beautiful journey of being a human being. I'm going to leave it here for the gratitude portion. There are a lot of rituals surrounding gratitude, like I said, prayers, and I'm going to continue on the extended version of the video. I believe that whatever type of practice you are doing, when you incorporate being grateful about life, about everything, is just going to propel this beautiful energy of love, of being also humble, of being able to be mindful and conscious. Whatever spiritual practice you are actually doing, gratitude is going to bring this also grace. Grace is a word that has different meanings to it. It has the meaning of being graceful, moving yourself with grace, for example. It has the mystical component to it, or the grace of God, for example. That is another way of seeing grace, or saying grace. There is a lot of different ways, but connecting to this beautiful energy of grace can be done also through gratitude or praying. I hope you like this video. I'm actually going to be uploading a writing exercise on Sunday about gratitude. So if you would like to get into gratitude, I am going to put an exercise to it, and maybe you can start incorporating this writing exercise about gratitude in your daily practices. So, thank you for having watched. Thank you for being here. I hope that you were learning something today, or maybe that you just heard something that clicked for you. I am absolutely very grateful to be sharing this with you guys and to be able to come here and talk about these subjects. I find them to be so important for the times that we are actually living nowadays. So thank you for watching. Wherever you are, I am sending you guys a lot of light and a lot of love, and we will see each other for our next video. Bye!